Give me the worst sales route. Give me the place nobody wants. If I can sell there, you're a hero. Mr. Potter, honestly, this is manual labor. And you're disabled. I don't know how. And that's how this man, who looks like Frank, got the first job of his life. Cold forceps accidentally caused cerebral palsy during birth, leaving him with lifelong mobility and speech impairments, and even difficulty controlling his facial expressions. Yet, despite being dealt such a losing hand in life, 25 years later, he earned the title of America's Gold Medal Salesman. The movie Never Give Up, based on a true story, is adapted from the life of the legendary salesman Bill. It still holds a high rating of 8.7 on platforms like Dobam, because it touches on an eternal question. Let LaFang take you into the story of this legendary salesman. On his first day of work, his mother drove Bill to the area assigned by the company. This was a region that all other salesmen viewed as a forbidden zone. His mother's heart was full of worry, but harsh reality was the best training for Bill. Bill approached his first customer. The sound of a dog barking inside made him recoil. The homeowner was in a heated argument with a neighbor, Lance, over a pine tree, and had no time for him. The man who opened the door was a drunken brute. Just as Bill finished his introduction, the door was slammed hard in his face. One rejection after another began to shake Bill's confidence, but he still headed to the next house. The fourth house belonged to a single mother, but his facial expressions frightened the child. Then, the family dog ran out, ignoring the flustered Bill. After several failures, she listened to his stuttering introduction. However, she said these products were useless to her. Seeing Bill, she felt a surge of pity. "I'm willing to help you." This gesture deeply wounded Bill's pride. He angrily put on his hat and prepared to leave. Before leaving, he didn't forget to point out a stain on her sofa. "I don't need charity, but you need stain remover. Look at your sofa, it's terrifying." By the end of the morning, Bill had achieved nothing. His confidence was gradually worn away. He sat on a park bench and took out the sandwich his mother had prepared. He unexpectedly found the word patience carefully written in ketchup. He smiled to himself. Just as he was about to take a bite, he found more encouragement written on the back of the sandwich. His honest laughter echoed through the empty park. His mother's gentle reminders seemed to ring in his ears again. "Listen, people just need more time to get used to you. Be patient, and be persistent." This subtle yet deep love gave him back the courage to face rejection. He adjusted his mindset for the afternoon's challenges. He arrived at a high-end community. At first, he was stopped by the security guard. A pair of construction workers happened to be coming out. Bill seized the opportunity. He got inside. There, he met a woman living alone named Gra. She gently and patiently listened to his, still somewhat clumsy but sincere sales pitch. "Based on my experience, the best deal is, in our catalog, we have a 3-action laundry detergent. It's $3.95 a box. You can see how much you'll save." After hearing this, she immediately ordered 2 boxes and a lot of bleach. She even warmly invited Bill for a glass of orange juice. This was the first sale of Bill's life. Although the commission was only a meager $4.25, to him, it was worth a fortune. So, he decided to use this fortune to treat his supportive mother to a luxurious meal. Bill excitedly told his mother about his day, but some young people at the next table started mocking the way he spoke. She ignored them and took a gold pocket watch out of her bag. "Your father's watch." "Excuse me. Could I borrow your ketchup?" "Of course." "I must be an idiot or something." She used their own malice as a weapon to protect her son's dignity. But Bill looked at his father's watch. His father had been so exceptional, While he felt he fell far short, his mother noticed his disappointment. Bill secretly made a vow to become a salesman just like his father. However, the next day, as soon as Bill arrived at the office, his manager told him he'd been complained about. It was the mother of the child he had scared to tears yesterday. To save this hard-won job, Bill went back to that house. This time, he didn't show his face. Instead, he hid behind the door with a puppet, talking to the child in a funny voice. He successfully made the boy laugh. The woman heard the laughter and came out to see. She was moved by Bill's sincerity and kindness, and chose to forgive him. Bill cleverly resolved the crisis, but after one day's work, Bill waited on the usual street for his mother to pick him up. He waited and waited, but she didn't show up. He had no choice but to walk home, but when he got home, no one was there. Panicked, Bill called the police. A police car soon pulled up, bringing his mother back. His mother walked into the kitchen to prepare dinner as if nothing had happened. That's when Bill learned from the police that his mother had wandered to Washington Street, far from home. Bill asked her what she was doing there. She vaguely said she wanted to buy shoes. But there were no shoe stores on that street, and while she said they were having steak tonight, she was actually defrosting chicken legs. Sorry for worrying you, Billy. Why didn't you call? I forgot our phone number. I think something is wrong with me. At that moment, Bill's heart broke. His mother had Alzheimer's. The great tree that sheltered him yesterday was withering in the wind today. He would now carry the burdens of life alone. He could no longer be a carefree child. 8 years passed in a flash. With his mother unable to care for herself, Bill eventually had to move her into a nursing home. From then on, his breakfast was always plain milk and cereal. But through his sincerity and persistence, he built a warm support network in the community. The bus driver would wait a bit longer for him. The hotel receptionist would help him tie his tie. And he repaid their kindness with one joke after another, and she'd even slip him a little tip. That elegant lady, Mrs. Gra, became Bill's most loyal and steady customer for years, no matter what Bill was selling. As time went by, Gra's feelings for him began to change. Once, after Bill delivered some goods, because he wanted to visit his mother, Gra immediately asked him to wait a moment, saying she wanted to order a few more things. In reality, she didn't need anything. The only reason she did this was to keep Bill there a little longer. She craved those moments of conversation with him, longing for that simple, pure companionship. Bill arrived at the nursing home where his mother lived. He pushed open the door with joy, only to see an elderly person on the floor, convulsing, with no one around noticing. He feared it might be his mother. He then hired a caregiver. When he returned home that evening, he found the house filled with smoke. The food in the pot had burned, and his mother was lying alone in the yard. See, now I have proof. Bill realized this wasn't a sustainable solution. He had no choice but to move his mother to a further, but more professional care center. He did his best to decorate the room, to look just like their home, hoping to bring her some comfort. In a moment of clarity, his mother guiltily told him, "I'm a burden." Now we're even. Bill replied, seemingly joking, but saying the warmest thing he could. He didn't want to send his mother there either. But it was perhaps the best choice for both of them. To pay for the expensive care fees, Bill began to work even harder. But the long hours of carrying heavy loads caused serious problems with his spine. The doctor warned him that he must hire someone to help with deliveries. Otherwise, he risked becoming paralyzed. Thinking about the long term, Bill finally placed a job ad in the newspaper. From then on, Bill visited his mother regularly, bringing her fresh flowers. But her condition continued to decline. His father had already passed away. The nursing home staff kindly suggested that he apply for disability benefits. to ease the financial pressure of caring for his mother. This once again touched a nerve regarding Bill's pride. "I'm a salesman for the Watkins Company." Bill went to visit his client, Gra, the woman who had supported him for years. Gra had carefully prepared a Christmas gift for him, but in return, Bill only gave her the standard company calendar. But in Gra's eyes, that cheap calendar was incredibly precious. Before he left, Gra hoped he would stay for a few drinks. However, the oblivious Bill didn't read the affection in her eyes and politely declined. Gray gently straightened his collar, turning all her words into a simple blessing. Only her unconcealable disappointment remained. As the door slowly closed, Bill didn't know that some things become lifelong regrets. Shortly after, Bill's job ad received a response. A young woman named Shirley came to apply. She had an outgoing personality, full of energy. She instantly brightened Bill's gloomy life. Not only did she meet all the job requirements, but she even helped him change a broken light bulb. "Can I have the job?" Late one night, Bill got a call from the nursing home. His mother had passed away peacefully in her sleep. Bill felt the strength drain from his body instantly. He leaned helplessly against the wall. He was now truly an orphan. The person who loved him most in the world was gone forever. His mother's funeral was simple. Only a few close friends attended. Bill didn't shed a single tear at the funeral because he didn't want his mother in heaven to worry. But during a later sales call, when he saw a cute baby in a customer's arms, memories of his mother came rushing back. That happy mother and child made it impossible for him to suppress his grief. Those delayed tears finally fell. A few more years passed. She became the only light in his life during that time. Through their daily interactions, he gradually fell in love with the kind and cheerful Shirley. On Bill's birthday, Shirley took him to a bar to celebrate. Under the candlelight, Bill plucked up his courage and decided to confess his feelings. "You're the best person I've ever met, Shirley." Shirley understood what he meant, but a hint of awkwardness flashed in her eyes. She had always seen Bill as a close friend or family. To avoid ruining this precious relationship, she skillfully changed the subject and pulled Bill onto the dance floor. Soon after, Shirley graduated from college. Bill was genuinely happy for her, but after the ceremony, a man hugged Shirley from behind. Their intimacy told Bill everything. As they turned and walked away, the loneliness on his face could no longer be hidden. She took the last bit of light from his life with her. 9 years passed. At the company's annual awards gala, the retiring old manager introduced Bill to the new successor. The new manager looked at this disabled man with a limp, his face full of confusion and contempt. However, when the host announced that this year's top salesman was Bill Porter, everyone was shocked. His personal annual sales reached over $40,000. In an era where being a 10,000-aire was enviable, this was undoubtedly a staggering figure. Bill stepped onto the podium to give his acceptance speech. "I love being a salesman. My father was a salesman. I wish he could be here. And my mother, she taught me patience and persistence. She taught me not to feel ashamed. I wish she were here today. Thank you." This honor was the best tribute to his parents in heaven. But when Bill wanted to share this joy with Gela, he learned that she had passed away last week. Then, Gela's son led Bill into a room. Bill was completely shocked by what he saw. The entire room was piled high with every product he had sold her over the years. Many of them hadn't even been unpacked. In that moment, Bill finally realized Gela never actually needed that many cleaning supplies. The reason she bought them time and time again was all because of one thing. Her love for Bill was deep yet subtle. He looked back on every little detail. He finally realized the love he had been searching for had been by his side all along. He finally understood this belated love. The tide of the times rolled forward. In the pursuit of efficiency, the company transitioned entirely to telesales. Traditional door-to-door sales were phased out. The office where Bill had worked for decades was turned into a storage room for junk. He became a man abandoned by the times. Walking out of the company gates, he saw an old man staring blankly on a bench, as if seeing his own future. Lost in thought while crossing the street, he didn't notice the oncoming bus. Fortunately, the bus wasn't going fast. He only suffered a broken right leg. The insurance company used a ridiculous excuse, claiming the fracture was a pre-existing condition, and only agreed to pay half the medical bills to cover the high costs. Despite the objections of Shirley and her husband, he insisted on selling his house. He also refused the suggestion to sue the bus company, believing that since he didn't use the crosswalk, he was also at fault. Unable to bear seeing him homeless, Shirley quietly bought his house. She had the agent arrange it as a lease. When Bill discovered the truth, he felt his dignity had been deeply insulted. He stormed over to Shirley, seeing her kindness as pity and deception. "You lied to me? You treated me like a child?" "I didn't. I treated you as a friend I care about. A friend who is very important to me. You're family to me." "No, Shirley, you have your own family. I hired you, yet you don't respect me. You treat me like a loser." "You're the loser, an emotional idiot. Normal people help each other, Bill. You're too obsessed with your independence. I don't need anyone, as if that's normal. It just means you're a weirdo. Fine, you don't need our help. Now leave the house within 30 days. Want me to call you a cab?" "I'll call you a cab." Good grief. The argument was like a sharp blade. Cutting through the walls of pride he'd built his whole life. He moved into a small apartment, completely bidding farewell to the past. He saw people talking into the air and using email for work. He realized he truly had been left behind. Holding the briefcase that had been with him for a lifetime, he officially said goodbye to the job he'd held for 40 years. Just when he thought his life had settled into silence, there was a knock at the door. Standing there was someone from 20 years ago, now a reporter for a Portland newspaper. He wanted to write a story about Bill, the story of the last door-to-door salesman. Bill instinctively refused. Shirley visited him again, holding a copy of the newspaper. Bill's photo was printed right there. Though reluctant, Bill eventually read his own story. After Shirley left, Bill finally picked up the paper. The reporter wrote from his own perspective. "I only truly noticed him once he was gone. This strange man walked in a funny way, carrying a briefcase and wearing a hat. Then one day, he stopped coming. There's an invisible thread in our community that connects us all." Bill was moved to tears after reading the report. For the first time, through someone else's eyes, he saw the true value of his work. He wasn't just selling things. He was delivering emotion and preserving the human touch of a community. Renewed with hope, he returned to the company, wanting his job back. But the manager regretfully told him that the door-to-door sales department had been shut down, advising him to enjoy his retirement. Disappointed, Bill boarded the bus home. But just as the bus started moving, the manager came running up, out of breath. It turned out the boss had also seen the report, and was so moved that he decided to make an exception, letting him continue this meaningful work. "Get off the bus, quick." The first person he visited after returning was Shirley. He took a tie out of his pocket. It was his silent apology and plea for help. Shirley smiled and took it, tying it for him. He returned to those familiar streets, serving those familiar customers. Grace also returned to his side as a part-timer, becoming his strongest support. This is a true story. The real-life Bill Porter perfectly embodied patience and persistence throughout his life. This isn't just an inspirational story. Bill's stubborn pride was his weapon against the world's injustice, but sometimes it became a wall, shutting out those who truly wanted to help. That argument with Shirley was the most important turning point in his life. He made us realize that true strength isn't about rejecting all help, but about maintaining your self-worth, while knowing how to accept kindness and warmth. And then there's Grace's deep, silent love. Some people spend their whole lives chasing love, never noticing that it's actually right beside them, simply because we foolishly overlook it. Our ignorance and limitations regarding emotion often cause us to miss the most important people and things in our lives. So, let's return to the eternal theme. Is self-worth defined by worldly success? If that were the case, then Bill's success would only be represented by that Salesperson of the Year trophy. But as Bill's figure blended back into the familiar streets of his community, perhaps the meaning of his existence had already transcended his profession as a salesman. He became a mobile center of warmth for the community, a living bond of human connection. This value cannot be measured by money, nor can it be made obsolete by time. It lives in the heart of everyone he touched. To put it simply, a person's true value isn't about how much money they have or how high their rank is, but whether the people around them live a little better because of them, and whether the world has become a little warmer because of you.